Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mondays with Max, I'd say it's the prologue, I guess, to my regular stream. But I needed to repad and repaste a 4090, and I'll show you why. Did some analysis and such. So I figured, hey, might as well have you guys along for the ride, see if I have any issues, and you can relish in my failures and my successes. Hopefully a success at the end of the day. So let me go through and tell you why. Well, actually, let me see who's here first. Then I'll go through it. Steven Cicero, Cook 4015, Son of a Rabbit, Dan Balmer, Strange Tamer, JFA, Jean-Francois Abin, Crypto Bedell, and Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. Thank you guys for being here, especially for an unexpected stream. I'm just upset that DJ Mines is not here. I don't care what time of day it is where he is. He's supposed to be here. He complained about not having live streams, and I'm providing for him. He needs to be here. Anyway, somebody tag, tweet this and tag DJ going, where are you? That'd be funny. All right. Anyway. All right. So basically, let me just jump right in. Nope, wrong screen. There we go. So this is the rig. I haven't started anything right now. It is at 27 degrees Celsius idle. It's cold downstairs. Yeah, it's going to be cold when there's nothing going on. 26 to 27. So now let me go ahead and start a miner on it, and you will see how fast this sucker jumps up in temperature. 1 second. That should be fine. It's going to take a minute for the job to get going. So you'll see it pop up here, but watch that temperature. It will jump up to the upper 70s and then directly into the 80s within seconds. So let's see. Oh, come on. No, right now it says inactive. Okay, now it says creating. Okay. No, it'll do it. I tested it before just to make sure it wasn't going to be like, oh, it's too cold downstairs. It won't do it. No, it'll still do it. So it should start here any second. But you'll see the job pop up right here. And then watch the temperature right there, right next to the heart. Come on. Taking too long to start. I'm looking at the instance within VAST, and it says creating, which means it will start. It's just a matter of sometimes it takes a little bit longer for it to upload or download. There it is. Watch. 30. It hasn't started. Now it started. 57, 68, 76. It will go all the way up. And now all of a sudden it will start thermal throttling. Watch this power drop. 417, 406. It dropped below 400, 398, 397, 399. So it's already thermal throttling the thing. That is not right. Should not be like that. So let me shut this thing off. You get the idea. Basically, it'll end up settling at about 315 to 330, and it'll be running at 88C, which is basically where it completely thermal throttles. So let me go ahead and stop that instance, and it'll run for a few more seconds, and then it'll shut down. You can see it's already down to 375, 373, and it's cold downstairs. There's cold air downstairs. Has nothing to do with that. So let me explain. So I did a lot of research on this, and while I have not opened up the card yet, what I suspect to find is that somebody did already try to repad it, and there is information out there that says that the memory chips should be repadded with 1.5 millimeters. That is incorrect. It should be 1 millimeter pads. In fact, they should get squished down to 0.08 millimeters. So it is a very, very thin, down to 0.8 millimeter pad. So it definitely has to be that way. So I looked at Northwest Repair had a video on this. It had the exact same characteristics as this. It peaked, thermal throttled, all of that. So one of the things I thought about doing was it's possible that they didn't tighten down the leaf spring tight enough. But even if they didn't, I'm still going to have to repad it. But I'm going to check that as I'm opening it up to see if it's tightened down. But even if it's not, it's been in this state for too long that whatever's there is dried up. The other thing I thought about was, again, you have you have pad there, so, and it's not so thick. You are going to have contact between the heat sink and there's not going to be contact, but there's going to be enough thermal paste there that you're going to get some thermal transfer. The problem is because it's not squished. What I'm guessing, because originally I wasn't having any problems with this card. What I think is that it's fairly close, but it dries out really quickly if it's not squished enough. And so I'm pretty sure this is going to be a dry, sticky mess on top of the GPU die. So without further ado, I'm going to have to leave you guys for a moment. And I will be back. I got to go turn off the rig and pull the card out. Shouldn't take me more than a few minutes. So give me a few minutes and I will get that done. In the meantime, let me put it in a be right back mode. I did populate that in here, didn't I? Oh, maybe I didn't. Dang it. I thought I never did that one. All right. Well, I guess I won't. I will just be right back. And I will put my music on if I had the music to put in here. I don't have it in this scene. Dang it. I don't have it in this scene either. Dang it. All right. Well, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to get this done. So, yeah, I'm sneaking this video in today. Yes, but I'll be doing my later one too. This is just a different type of video. So I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. Get you. YouTube on that one. I can't type on this one. I can't type on my phone. Okay. All right, I am back. And I have the beast in hand. Give me... Oh, wrong one. There we go. There's the beast. So let's start without further ado. Let's start taking it apart. Got to move myself over. Okay. You guys can still see me. I was going to move the camera, but I don't feel like moving that. So first things first, there is a... How to get the spudger out. I did not just want to say that word, but there is a little clip. See this little opening? No, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think so. You should see if all members, wife was wondering, all members have a little icon of me next to their name. So basically there's a slot. Oh, shoot, can't see that, can you? Right there, there's a little slot. And I stick a spudger in there and it should pop up. I can't. That's the problem. I had options to and the problem is that I don't have anything tall enough where I can raise up this this camera. It was either that or use my webcam, but this is a much better camera that you have better all right, let's see if I can get this thing to pop up now. Come on.
All Hashed Up wants to know, how do you have a 4090 that needs to be repasted?
I bought it from Brandon. So when Brandon resells cards, he basically makes sure it produces video, which this one definitely does. There it goes. Finally got that up. So you pop that up, and then this slides out.
Lex
So
said the pad inside is like chewing gum, something very soft. You cannot replace that with normal thermal pads. Don't try.
I'm pretty sure somebody did, and I've seen other people do it. It's got to be 1 millimeter. And if you're talking about the thermal pads on the actual heatsink to memory, you can. I've seen people do it, and it's been successful. You just have to make sure that you don't do it with 1.5, which is what I'm pretty sure we're going to find here. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me set that piece to the side. And then this is the small Torx. This is a T2, or sorry, T5. I'm pretty sure anyway. I think that's what they said in the video. Yeah, T5. So you have this one, this one, this one, and this one that all have to get taken out. And then there are a couple of screws. I know there's a screw there. And I believe there's a screw there as well that needs to be taken out. So, and I might go back and reference cards if I need to. Yeah, this one's been opened before. These are normally tightened really harshly down, and this one is not. These are like super, no, I wouldn't say loose, but just basically hand tightened. But I have no issue getting them started. And I do have 3 different dishes for the 3 different types of screws. That one was really loose, actually. Now I got to find. Okay. Oh, it's like, did you put it there? Yes. Oh, I was like, where did it go? I'm thinking this one's one of these small screwdrivers I'm going to need, although these look like really hard to get to. I don't know. Hold on. There might be another clip somewhere. Might have to revisit the video. I thought all the screws came out at once, but you can't get to those. Oh, that's those are different screws. Those are for holding in the LED. Those are different. What's interesting is neither one of these is actually screwed down correctly. It's almost like they have the wrong screw in here. All right, hold on. Let me revisit the video really quick. Oh, full screen that. And remember 2090 tear down NVIDIA. Actually, yep. First video. Awesome. No, let's go there. Okay, so we took those four out. And then, oh, you're correct. You are correct, sir. These are oh yeah. This one. Yeah, this is one of the short ones. Okay. I was forgetting it's that one. The one next to it is the one that you take out to take out that. So, thank you. My memory did not serve me right. I watched this video 2 days ago. Let's see. Question is, let me go back. Do that. Oh yeah. Like I said, I know somebody has done this. Let's go back to that. And all right. So, okay, let me move this over so you guys can get a better look at it. I took out those two. Now I'm going to take out these two. But yeah, I was told that these screws are in there really tight, so make sure you use the right size driver. Otherwise, you are going to have serious issues. Yeah, that is all. And this one has backplate pads. You can see there's also a pad there that we will just leave there. Oh, interesting. Better make sure I leave those in there. I actually just knocked this out of that hole, so we're going to make sure, well, we'll make sure that that stays with that. Let me screw it back in. That will be there. Okay. Now, I believe this is T5 that I need for this one. Let's put these back in place. Oop, that would have been back in the wrong place. It's either T5 or T6. For some reason I'm thinking T6, but No, definitely not T6. Looks like T5. All right, let's... That should be the right size. Yeah, it is. Okay, but before I do that, I have to take out those 3 cables. So I'm going to take up my handy dandy tweezers. And this one I need to lift that up, which I'm pretty sure I just did, and try to pull this out. Pretty sure that's up. Yeah, that's up. Yeah, it's coming out. Wow, those tweezers are kind of worthless. And let's do the same thing over here.
Paul said don't pinch the ribbons.
Don't pinch?
He said pitch, but I think he meant pinch.
Yeah, I'm not pinching them hard. There we go. And then this one actually just comes back. Oh, well, too late for that. There we go. Now this one should come out. No, now it'll come out. Yes. Come on. Wow, this one's really in there because I have this definitely all the way out. And this one does not want to move. Wow. Seriously. Wow. Obviously don't want to pinch those too hard.
You might have a lock and then up, pull up. Oh.
Well, it's definitely, this is a lock. That's what that is. Maybe I didn't have it back far enough. That, I mean, it's like stuck. That's definitely as back as it's going to get. I mean, this is hooked up to something else. So this is inevitably to the fan control, but it goes to another connector and then goes to another connector. Wow, this stinks. You watch this guy do it on the video and he does it like it's nothing. Like he just pulls it back and it like falls out. So let me go back to that. Yeah, I can try to do that. Let's see. It's like not moving. It's almost like this pad has like leaked over and like formed a bond with this. I might have to leave that in place and fold it over. What was that?
So Black Sail says no, pull up, and then Black Sail says no, push in. That's push in, you pull up.
Okay, push in or pull up? Which one is it?
Apparently you were pushing,
Out is this way, in
sure?
is that way. Yes, because the wire, it doesn't go that way. This is where the lock is. So hang on a second. Let me go to the video and let me see what he does.
You keep saying up towards your face.
No, I know that, but it's not lifting up. That's my point. Oh, well, that's another thing I got to do eventually. I can't imagine that's why. I know that's not why. Okay. Yeah, like look at what he just did.
Missed it.
Like barely touches it at all, and it just pops out. He grabs it right here and lifts up. Yeah, thanks. All right, got out. I guess it did look exactly like they did it in there, which was a little bit of effort there. All right, now what I need to do is, which he's already done, is I need to take out those. I don't know if you guys can see them because I don't have that screen up anymore. Let me bring this back down to where it was. All right, there we go. Go back to there. So I have to take out, well, first I have to take out that, and then, which I believe is also a Torx, and those on the end, which is really hard to see, but you can see those 6 right there. So I'll be doing most of that off screen because I'm going to put it up on end in order to do it. But I believe that that's the one that is the 6, maybe? That one looks, yeah, this one's the 6. All right, so you can see me do this one at least. All right, I'm gonna put those over there. I'm just gonna leave it on its side and do it this way. Maybe those are 5s, maybe. No, that's got to be a 6. In crisscross pattern for whatever reason.
The G-Rocket said set it on fire and asked RPM to join you and you.
Nah. Makes for good content. Especially if I fail.
Fire makes for good content.
That's what I said. Especially if I fail.
But then it burns the basement.
Well, no, because we're watching it. To make sure that doesn't happen. That one wasn't even in all the way, because I don't think I touched that one yet. So this one has definitely been opened before. There's no question about that. You guys hear me okay? I'm talking over here? Talking over here. All right. Now that's off. Okay. Now for the leaf springs, which is the next part. Once I have this off, then I'm going to have to use some effort in order to get this separated from the heatsink. I'm going to crisscross this with like 5 revolutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then keep crisscrossing in that way. Okay, now next one should just be out. There we go, there's one. Yeah, it was at least hot before, so. Yes, this one is soldered in place, so not really. Yeah, no. This is not a CPU. It's certainly not an AM4 CPU. So this one is soldered in place. So you can't actually even touch those pins that you're talking about. I'm going to put that one right there with those in place. And then yeah, this one is kind of hard to get like any leverage. Ah, there we go. That wasn't hard. Okay. You see that? That's not putty. At least I'm pretty sure that is not putty. And if it is putty, it's too thick. And if you look at this, you see how dry it is? Somebody tried to repaste it. The gray stuff, I'm pointing at it. So the gray stuff, somebody tried to repaste it. That is not what went on here. That I don't believe is the thermal material. I mean, it's possible that it might be, but that is some severely failed thermal material. That is dry as a bone.
Yep, paste is gone.
Yep, paste is absolutely gone.
Bacon, eggs, and hash.
Yeah. So the question is that material the wrong material, which I suspect it is? I'm looking at something over here to see.
Yeah. Sale says I believe it's the original thermal paste from factory. Bleach says cryogen. And Richie Rocket said overheated paste for sure.
Yeah. Let me see here. I want to pull out the 1mm. And
looks like paste that's been heated and cooled a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. So, yeah, that's definitely too thick. This is 1mm, guys. That's 1mm. The other thing that's really interesting here, you notice this is not original. This is pretty thin. I mean, it has imprints, so it's fine. But the fact that this is almost just actually thicker than this, this is way too thick. Like, it's not even close. No, I don't think so, because it wasn't run that way for very long, and it thermal throttled itself. So it never went above 88. So it operated as expected. So, but here is what I'm going to do. We're going to take one of these off, and you tell me, is it a pad or
says pads are original, keep the pad.
I don't think those are original. And that's too thick. I unfortunately did not retest to make sure, because the card had been opened.
Original feels like chewing gum. That's ABW said that's thermal putty. Someone's chewing gum.
Now it's interesting. Do you notice something? Let me see here. There's something here. Oh, because there's nothing that actually goes there. That's actually here on the board. So there's nothing there. That's why there's no pad there.
Blacksail says pads and paste are original.
Well, the thing is that this didn't come with paste. It came with a thermal change pad. So I'm like, maybe that is original? Either way, wasn't done very well. And like I said, it seemed like somebody opened the card. But let me go to this section in the video and see if it looks exactly like it. It doesn't matter. I'd still have to repaste it.
Ryland says hi.
Hello, Ryland. Hello, son. All right. So I already did that. Waiting for it to get to the right section. Oh, maybe you're right. It does look pretty original. Well, the glue in the middle looks right on this one. It looks wrong in this one. They don't even show the card. All the pads came off with the card. Like these all look the same. So maybe it is the same. Well, I guess we'll just try. Since this stuff is supposed to be very highly compressible, that we just leave that as is. Let me just make sure. I am pretty sure that he does not show in the video the card.
Jackson Digital said, going forward, I'm going to leave a note in for future repasters.
Yeah, he doesn't show it there. Let me see if he shows the card later on when he shows all the parts. Because in this particular video, he takes it completely apart. All right, now. Here's what I'll do.
They should make replacement paste a different color.
They do. That's why everybody's saying that it looks like original. And I think they're right. So I'm not going to touch it. But it is interesting that there must not have been enough force on the leaf spring in order to make good enough contact, because it should not dry out like that. This is a 7950 pad. This thing should last a really, really long time. This thing should last a long time, much longer than paste. So, which is why I'm replacing it with that, since that's what it was designed for. And if it doesn't work, I have paste coming tomorrow. Because interestingly enough, I was doing some research on GPU paste, or specific thermal paste for GPUs. And they basically said that you need to make sure you have a more viscous paste, because it is more subject to, like, I forget what they exactly call it, but like squish out. Basically where the heat sink and the GPU die actually expand and contract at different rates. Therefore, it tends to push out the paste. It's a normal problem, but it is especially prevalent in GPUs with their high temperature variability. So, which is why this 7950 is great for that. All right, but let me start wiping this off. I have a couple different ways to wipe this off, but we're going to do that first. Yeah, I'm definitely not fast at this. That's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, heck, that little thing right there, like almost chipped off. It was so dry. So I'll try to get as much as I can off with just a paper towel. Trust me, that would not have worked in this case. Definitely would not have worked. I put this in a very favorable position in my basement. Extremely favorable. Where basically all it had was cold air blowing on it from outside. And it was still doing that. So, yeah, it's... Now, this is the fun part, because this is...
I think it was on the Linus channel, but they used
7950
and paste on a CPU. Seemed to work fine.
Yeah.
Want to try that out on a 4090?
Yeah, that comes with a 7950. I'm doing a 7950. I'm not adding paste as well. Wow, this is like really... Here, let me actually...
Rizzo 529 said, always like the Silver Fox 5.
Can you put this on that table right there?
Had no issue.
Yeah, I mean, everything will work. It's about how long it'll work for. This is just really, really... Yeah, I'm going to, but this is like solidified. So I'm trying to get as much off without wiping first, without actually taking off any surface mount parts, because that would be bad. Yeah, once I have gotten most of it off, like the big chunks, then I'm going to use a wipe on both of them. Oh yeah, you're right. That is, I have a spudger for that. That would make a heck of a lot more sense. No, I had a spudger right here. Yeah, wow, that's just way easier.
Rip and scoop with a Q-tip. Then he goes, no, what? All that?
No, they can. I don't think they can hear you. Can you guys hear Sunflower Mama when she's making comments? No, not with my other mic.
Jackson Digital said, I like to cut a Q-tip in half and use the non-tip side for scraps.
And I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to get off the majority of it, because you don't want this stuff like smushed around, because then it's just even harder to get off. What did he say? She doesn't give herself enough credit. Allset, you are right. She is.
Some G said put it in the dishwasher.
Really? You think that's a good idea?
It'd be bright and clean.
It would. It would be really clean.
Blue said it sounds like the angel whispering on your shoulder. More like the devil.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll have to make sure that I clean off this pad, because it has dried up stuff on it. And actually everything off the pad is not a big deal. So it's not really a big deal. All right. Now I am going to get out the pad that came with it, which is this one. Trident alcohol disinfectant wipes. I don't know if I need disinfectant, but it does have alcohol in it. So I'm going to clean off. I hate it when they do that, where it like scoots up on you, but they tell you to tear below where the cloth is. I got it. How many do we got in here? It's like one big one. One big wipe. One big wipe. All right. Well, we're going to try to make sure we do this quickly then. Why? Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I probably should have left it folded. See how much we can actually get off. Because, man, it is not wanting to... I do have a couple more wipes if I need more wipes, so... Yeah, I could if I need to, but that isopropyl alcohol is not ideal. It's not 90%, which is what it's supposed to be. It's only 70%. All right, well, I'm going to come back to that. No, it's fine. There's the other one 70% too. Yeah, this stuff does not like to come off. Yeah, you're right. That's a good idea. Actually, after you use wipe alcohol, not so effective. That one's, I mean, they're almost all off. Probably doesn't really matter. I just like to have it nice and clean. Yes, I know, because the board's right there. Board's more interesting to look at anyway. Try using the spudger. Just doesn't seem like it's sharp enough.
I'm just saying if you put more alcohol on it, let it sit for a second so that it... Also said, you gotta spin the Q-tip like a micro car wash around the chip.
Oh, you mean around the outside? That's not harming anything.
Sensibilities, because it looks like crap.
Doesn't matter. Like I said, it's non-conductive, and more stuff is going to get there anyway. Did get more of that off. Oh, I forgot this has...
It's like cleaning the butt, but not the cheeks.
No, it's not. It is not that. It is not like cleaning the button or cleaning the...
Get a Q-tip, get the alcohol on it, and it will loosen that up.
Here, you want to try it?
You need to solve it, mister. Not everything works.
No, that one's not open. I'm going to let her try that one. And I'm going to see if I can get, after using the spudger and the spatula on this one, to see if I can get this one. Like I said, I do have more wipes. So we got a couple of spots that are being stubborn. Hopefully I'm not pushing on it too hard. That would be bad. Kind of feel like a
no
dentist.
way, man. I'll never do it.
What was the...
Traveler said, careful, he'll have me repair entire GPU farm.
Only when it gets back here.
That's true. It's not even here.
It's not here. It's in Kansas. Almost like being a dentist. You know, like a dentist like scratches your teeth and then you got stuff stuck on the pick and then you got to wipe it off. That's what I feel like I'm doing. This is one of those where I'm just going to be like, eh, it's good enough.
These are like, these marks that are on here are gouges.
Are you serious? Yep. Like you can feel the... She's saying they're gouges. I did not cause those gouges.
CryptoKJ says IPA and a toothbrush.
IPA and a toothbrush. IPA is not in the diet right now.
All the better to use on your GPUs.
All right, let me see if I can pick up any of that with that. All right, one more little that. Actually, I was watching Northwest Repair, and they had one where the guy had just gotten it, it was new to him.
And he smoked it.
No smoke yet. But it wouldn't do anything. And so he opened it. Everything wasn't working. It's like, okay, this is something having to do with the chip. So I'm going to see if there's any problems underneath. And I think what he was expecting. I'm hoping it's a chunk of paste, but now I'm like, I got to check that, make sure I've got everything. I thought it was only these two that were left on here. So you can see that we can't get those out. And she's saying that those are gouges. They don't look like gouges, but no, I'm going to, but, yeah, those aren't gouges. It's just paste that doesn't want to come out. No, I don't think so. Because I'm like smearing some of it. Well, it's gonna have to do. Did you look in the garbage can?
Yeah, I can't find anything but paste chunks.
Thank God there's a bag on the top, so it should just be, if it was, it should be right. We'll make sure we don't jostle that. Well, I was shaking it because I wasn't expecting anything to come off of it. That was the problem. But
drip some alcohol on the spots and let it soak for a minute. I was scrubbing pretty good with alcohol.
You want to try it? Is that the last one? All right, so I can put back the pad. That should not be a factor. Actually, in the meantime, I can start looking. Looking to see what the best way to cut this would be. I think it's pretty much square. Looks pretty much like 1 inch by 1 inch. A little bit over an inch that direction. We'll go, so even if I go a little bit over, it's not a big deal. So we'll go 1 inch and a quarter, 1 1/8 inches. Let me stand up. Inch and 1/8 inches that way. And 1 inch that way. All right. Yeah, it pretty much just evaporates right away.
Well, I mean, it sat there for a bit, but it's not changing anything.
Yeah. I can use this. Re-soak the thing in an area that doesn't have any thermal paste. No, I'm not. The part where I wet it down was right there.
Mark 1 inch square and cut to the outside of the lines.
Where'd you get that information from? Because it was 1 1/8 inches by 1 inch is the size of the die. Yeah, that's not picking up anything else. It's as good as I'm going to get it, and I'm not going to worry about it.
He is not super careful. He cannot do that.
No, I'm not using acetone. I have heard that, though. No, 1 1/8 by 1. So I originally did say 1 by 1. So I'll put you to work on this since you're better at using an X-Acto knife than I am. Are you gonna get the paper cutter?
No.
Oh. We have the ruler on here.
I got a straight edge.
Okay.
I mean, I still need that to cut things on.
Yeah. Let me have the ruler real quick just to double check it. Since we do have it. It's definitely not 1 inch. What was that dimension? Okay, no, I guess I was looking at it wrong. So yeah, that is just over. Oh, that is really hard to do because of the light. No, it's 1 inch that way. And this way is, stand for this. Oh. Just over 1 inch, like barely. 1 1/8 would be plenty. Okay. All right, so I know they actually say to put it on the actual heatsink itself. The problem is there's no way to know exactly, or it's very difficult to know exactly where it goes when you put it on there, other than the reference of the heatsink for the chips.
It's just somewhere there's a spec that says millimeters and it would be a lot easier to hide.
All right, let me see if I can find the chip die size in millimeters. Actually, hey, you guys want to look it up? Well, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to put this back on.
Freedom units are bullshit when it comes to this kind of stuff.
The wife says freedom units are bullshit. Not wrong.
When you're measuring.
Yeah. All right, so that one went there. It's almost like this stuff right here didn't like compress. I'm gonna push that stuff down. I'll make sure that's not causing any issues. All right. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna dry fit it real quick. Make sure it goes like this. And got to make sure I'm on the other side of all of these, and that's the tough part. And then what I'm trying to do is find.
DIE is 609 millimeters.
Okay, and that did not stay above. Right. 9 millimeters square.
609 millimeters.
Okay, is that what they said? 609 millimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the square millimeters. I don't need the square millimeters. I need the dimensions. Because I can cut 609 square millimeters 100 different ways.
23.4 millimeters by 26.4 millimeters.
That sounds about right. What was it? 26.4? 20. Gosh darn it. No, I do not want to be in full screen mode.
Yeah, that's about 20, because 23 puts it just at almost an inch.
26. Are you looking it up?
No.
To inches. Yeah, so 26.4 inches is 1.04 inches. But yeah, that's basically what I said. And the other one should be right about an inch. What was the other one? 20. Well, I'm just pulling up the exact numbers. 0.92. So it doesn't, it's okay if it's oversized slightly. So yeah, when I go to set this, I'm going to want your help. That is kind of cool, actually. There's a couple of pins to make sure you put it correctly. Like right here and right here are pins. So it has to go into those spots. So as long as you set it in those spots, it's going to be centered. Yeah. That's in the right spot. Perfect. I had not noticed those. I did notice the pins. I'm like, what are those for? Now I know what they're for. So I'll be able to put it on here. Let's make sure that this, there's a couple of pins, like these pins right here that have a big fuzzy on them. They have to make contact. So we got to make sure that these pins right there, we have to make sure that those make good contact. I think actually those are the fan. Those are the fan. Those are for the fan. If anybody thought this stream was going to be fast, you've never seen me do a repasting before because I don't do them very often. Well, I had it up over there before. So anyway, so these down there, those, you see those 5 connectors right down there? That's what these 5 pins connect into. So I'll try to dust off the board a little bit too, since there definitely is. Just use this. It's just dust. But as long as I'm here, might as well get the dust off at the bottom of the board. Let's see if there's any on the, oh, there's some on the top side too. And I know I've got the heatsink in the way because that's what I'm going to go to next. All right, let's see. And if you don't think I'm nervous about doing this on a 4090 that I could completely ruin, you'd be wrong. But didn't seem to be that difficult, so I'm gonna give it a try. Did you cut it? Or I didn't give it to you. Okay, sorry. So what I would do is I would measure up. You see the side with the open, like that side. That side I couldn't get an edge on anyway. Doesn't matter. Cut on either side, unless you can get an edge. Can you? Okay, well, I was watching her measure. So once that's done, then we'll put it on the actual die and then close her back up. Okay. It's interesting though, just taking that little bit out, everything's.
A little too big, is that gonna be a
No. Better too big than too small. That's what she said. You were all thinking it. Just taking off a little bit more goop if I can. You want a Q-tip?
No, I gave you one.
No, I know. But this is like stuff that's like stiff. Like doesn't need. Needs to be like chipped off. Yeah, it's going to slide a little bit. Not the absolute easiest material to work with. Some guys actually put it in like the freezer, but then I heard like nightmare stories of people that did put it in the freezer. So I didn't do that. All right. That's what it looks like. Oh, okay. Well, good. All right. Let me, since she's busy, let me see if I can go back to the chat. Got a whole 34 people here. Sorry, I bored some people to death. I was at 47. I know. Well, I take long when I do this stuff. Have I seen the new Volk miners? No, I have not. Who makes it? What does it mine? I've heard of it. I haven't seen them. The mini looks nice. Cool. Jackson Digital says, watching you work with a 4090 is giving me anxiety. Really great that you have all these helpful viewers. I'd like to take a stab at reshrouding a Gigabyte 4090 as I hate the RGB ring. Who looks at it? You can always just unplug the actual RGB. So it's cut, but you got to get that part off. Okay, I just need one side off right now. Okay. There. The one side of this is like really hard to like get an edge. And we have old eyes. So normally when we're doing stuff like this, we do it by feel. But it is not splitting. Oh, did you get it? Tweezers? I just have to pull it up from a different corner. Yeah, this is the fun part. She had it, and it's hard to get it to stay so that you can grab it. Okay. We have a side. At least we think we do. Doesn't matter, they're both the same side. There's not a difference. It's almost like that side was sealed. And now it's coming off. So that just needs to go there. I can do the rest of it. Okay, which side was the long side? Or is it a square?
It's kind of this big square. Is it too small?
Might be. No. This side was good this way. It was the fact that this side is the short side. Oh, it's pretty much the same.
Is it too small?
No, it's fine. Just trying to make sure. Just hold on. Just double checking to make sure. No, it should work. Just have to make sure I put it on correctly. Oh, here. Can you move this out of the way? All right. Now we're going to put some light on it. Makes me kind of wish I just waited for the paste for tomorrow, but I was told this would be better. All right. That's on there, but can't be done yet. Because now I need you to get the plastic off the other side. Without. Oh, wait a minute. I probably can do it. Because there's one edge up here. There's one edge. If I can just grab that. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Because that's what came with it. And they suggest using it. It works better. It doesn't, the paste doesn't squeeze out. Yep. All right. Now, time for the actual work. And the one thing with this, oh, they actually said to smooth it out as best you can, but it should squish. That should be fine. That'll squish. Okay. First of all, I'll need to make sure that these cables are all above the board. And then make sure that I have everything lined up. That one's lined up. And that one's lined up. And the cables are all above. Alrighty.
Argon strategist, the GPU repairs live, max voltage on mining and crypto. Get ready for critique.
Yeah, well, I'm not fast. That's for sure. I'm no mining king. That's for sure. All right. Now, let's put the leaf spring back. At least that's the idea. Trying to put the screws back so I can just kind of drop it into place. And hopefully, I didn't turn it. I turned it. Okay. Should have been the last thing I did, so it should still be the right. Get these started. Well, faster than me. Come on. Come on. You're not wanting to go in. Why? Okay. Now it went in. Okay. Yeah, one last one. This does require a bit of pressure. Which makes sense. Okay. I'm going to do 3 turns on each one. So we do it evenly. Interesting. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, but I'm screwing them in. Just doing like 3 turns on each one, or 3 half turns on each one. That one's in. What was that?
Craig Davis said so soon.
What do you mean so soon? As in it, I did it fast, or as in it shouldn't have needed to be repasted?
Probably not that it has to be repasted.
Yes, it needed to be repasted. Now those have hard stops to them. Like I said, I wish I had tried that to see if it was just loose and that's what caused the problem. I wish I remembered like how far these actually went in.
Black Sale says you need to squeeze the card while screwing in.
Yeah, no, it's at a hard stop. It's definitely at a hard stop. So this is, these went just tight, 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 and then bam, they're done. Just like you would on a CPU cooler, they have a hard stop.
Craig Davis said I would have thought 3 years at least.
Yep, that's what I would have thought too. Let's see if I try putting this down to see.
Craig Davis, I think this was the one of the used cards he bought, so it might have been treated rough by the last one.
Exactly. You know what? I think it fell back. That's the problem. It fell back. Now it's all the way in. Now it's clamped down. Let's do the fun one. The one I had trouble with. There we go. That was much easier to put back in. Now this one is still up. And this one, because of where it is, it should go in easier. Yeah, that one should be good. I hope. Looks like it should be. Let me try lifting this up one more time. Appears to be in. Yeah. I am repadding a 4090. And the repadding is done, or not repadding, repasting. I thought I was going to repad. I don't know what happened to the paste. We're going to try this and see if it works. Because this is original pad. So it shouldn't be too thick, and it's very compressible. So I don't know. It almost seems like somebody took it apart because everything was like easy to take apart. Just going to do one last check on the screws. I mean, these are, like I said, they're a hard stop. But yeah, I know that I did do, well, maybe I didn't do it hard enough, but yes, you're supposed to, they actually have a, when they're putting these things together, they actually have a clamp force that covers the whole board and pushes down on the board to get that compression. But this has already been compressed, so it shouldn't be a problem, theoretically. So we'll see. We shall see. So we're going to give it a shot. All right. Now I need to do everything in reverse. So let me go back up here. And if I remember correctly, yeah, he took off the end first, but he was putting this stuff back in, or taking that stuff out. Let's see. Yeah, he did that. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. I need to put these screws in, and I need to put these 4 screws in, but what was the other one? Hold on. Oh, that would have been bad too. Yeah, they go in, this goes in on top, but that has to go on first. So I screwed that down. I put the cables back in. Yeah, those go through the board. Yeah, those go through the board, or through this. They go on top of that. So I'm just going to double check, make sure I've got the order right. Yes, I know that part. Let me speed that up. And then he did that. Took the cover off. And then he put this. So I got to do that. All right. Quick drink of water. Just making sure there's not something else after this step. I don't really want to lift that up, that's for sure. Yeah, he was doing that after that, so. That's kind of strange. There was no screw down here. All right. And which screws were they?
Taking water, you might as well just go in your regular life.
Yeah, pretty much. It's 2:30, guys. Come on. We got like 4 hours. Oh, I thought they said that. Okay, so he already did it there. So I'm looking to find where they say what kind of, I think this is the T6. T8. Okay. Yeah, and they said there were 7 T8s, which isn't this one. It is the MwM one. That one actually was, oh, that's still T8. It's that one. I'm not going to tighten that one down. There should be 6. That one is 4. Oh, there they are. That's why I was having trouble finding them. Get all these partially screwed in, and then I'll tighten them down. Nice and easy. Next time I let Sunflower Mama do all the mechanical parts, she'd be faster than me. Because in case you hadn't heard the stories, if there's anything to be fixed in the house, I will help her research it. She's the one that fixes it.
Diesel 846 says you should be using the lid for the iFixit case as a sorter.
I use bins.
And he says I place the screws in the same arrangement as I take them out of the car.
There aren't that many.
Says the guy who couldn't figure out which screws.
I figured it out, didn't I? I figured it out. I got a video to go back to, so. All right. That is the end of using that bit. Okay. Now that I have that on, I'm pretty sure this goes on next. And then it's about stinking time for somebody who complains about not having live streams. You take your own damn sweet time in getting here. Well, yeah, that goes without saying. And I would have been on yesterday, but my driver for Amazon took their own sweet time in getting it here. And by that time, you know, I'm an old guy. I'm too late, man. I'd be making all kinds of mistakes. So, didn't want to be making stupid mistakes. Plus, Sunflower Mama, by the time I got it, Sunflower Mama was fast asleep. Well, shouldn't say that. It came about half hour before she went to bed. Really close to 10 o'clock. This driver was super slow. But, you know what? Amazon drivers are... I don't want to... Overworked is the wrong word. Heavily worked. They're, like, really busy, so... There were three cables that were off that motherboard, and I did plug all those in. At least I think I did far enough. We'll find out. What was that? Yeah, you can only be on strike if you're unionized, and there's very few places that are unionized. And the other thing is, typically the on strike is not Amazon itself. It is their contract drivers that are on strike. So Amazon continues to pick orders, and if they don't have their contract drivers, then they will just use flex drivers as much as they can. Plenty of people looking for an extra buck around Christmas season. I used to do it as well. I just really enjoyed it. It was exercise. I mean, not like strenuous exercise or anything, but it was exercise. Okay. I guess it's... Oh, because I'm an idiot. Switch the damn bit. Make sure I got that in far enough. Come on. I know you're the right. There we go. We're going to have to what? That's fine. All right. It's in. Now, last but not least, this has to go in. Seems in. Didn't feel like a snap, unfortunately, but I think I put it together right. We're going to find out because I'm going to put it in. Now, here's the thing. This will not have great... in fact, before I do anything, there's a way to kind of like season that kind of pad, and you let it run for like, I believe 10 minutes for like 10 times, and then you let it sit overnight, and then you can use it. So hang on a second. How to set up pt1 7950 cycle. Let's see. I know this is the one I watched before. I know I don't have this up by you guys where you can see it. Here, I'm going to switch screens. All right, let me go into YouTube and set up pt1 7950. All right, I do not want shorts. Oh, 2 years ago. Let me see. Installation tips and testing. You know what? I really don't want this. What I really want is a document. Application instructions. Okay. These are all YouTube. I found here. All right, let's see if this link still exists. It does. Okay, so I know. Yes, yes, yes. Then on page 3 of this PDF, specifically, right, which they actually say 0.2 is better than 0.25. I had 0.2, which I believe is the same thickness that is used on the 79 or the 4090s. Yeah, so I used the gray one. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I want to find, all right, thermal material. I know, once you have it installed is what I'm looking for. All right. Important note. His cleanest application. After some heat cycles, the CPU, GPU dies seem to be glued firmly stuck on the heatsink. I thought it was actually stuck because if I pulled the heatsink directly up, it pulled the main board. They're not saying specifically. Let's see. Let me look up a different thing. PTM 7950 initial heat cycle instructions. How to heat cycle PTM 7950. I watched this guy's video too, but I just want a document. See, a lot of these people just put it directly in. Interesting. And they're saying later tighten it a little bit more. It's tightened all the way it's going to go. So, okay. All right. I'm going to do what this one guy said, which was, I believe it was this guy. It's either this guy or it was another guy. I don't know what he looked like. He was on one of my searches before, but said to do 10 minutes at a time. Not sure I'm going to do 10 minutes at a time if it doesn't cool it enough. Like if it just goes straight to 88 like it did before, yeah, I'm not gonna let it sit there for very long. So okay, I will be back. I'm going to reinstall this, so I will be back in a few minutes. Saying anything? Okay. I'm back. Let me see if this has come up yet. Wow, that was quick. Yes, it did. All right. Let me, I have the screen shared. And,
Litecoin pumping.
oh, nice. I haven't really looked at the market much today. But anyway, here it is. Although, what am I doing? Because this isn't going to work. That is, yeah. It's already reset. So, there we go. All right, I don't even know where I can even see it. So, okay, so we're at 26 degrees. You can see it's live. All right, let me restart that job. And it will take a few moments. And let's cross our fingers that we see better temps. Much better temps. Let's see, still showing inactive. Basically, it goes from inactive to creating to running. Usually takes about 45 to 50 seconds to go to creating. Still showing inactive. Loading. Well, loading is in the details. Okay, creating. It is actually at a lower temp, 25. So that should be telling me it's doing something. And then once it starts, I'll probably do it until 3 o'clock, let it recycle another 10 minutes, and then put it on for 10 minutes. I won't keep you guys here for that, but let's see what kind of results I get on the first cycle. I'm going to guess 77. That's what I'm going to guess. And if I get better than that, I will be thrilled. Come on, come on, come on. Should be any second now. The job will start. In the meantime, yeah, Black Sail says it's pumping. All right, there we go. Let's see. Hasn't really started yet. Now it's started. Oof. Oof. That does not appear to have done jack squat. Look at that right there. Huh. Well, let's see. Because it will save itself. I mean, that's what it's doing. But that is disappointing, to say the least. Very disappointing. But maybe it's just the first cycle, possibly. I mean, right now, it's actually doing better than it was. Because it was going down to 315 watts. It's staying up at like 375. All right, I'll keep you guys on until the next cycle. We can talk amongst ourselves in the meantime, but I'm gonna let this run until 3 my time. See if this stays about 375. Yeah. Like I said, it's not the fan. I'm telling you, it's cold downstairs. It's not the fan. It is literally not the fan.
Let it run 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to let it run 10, but we could certainly do 5 instead. Like I said, it is doing better than it was doing before. Because like I said, it would go up to 88 and would go down to 315 watts. Now it's at like 382 to 370 to 380, that thereabouts. Diesel, where are you getting that information about let it run for 5 and then let it cool? I had always heard let it run for 10. I mean, I haven't been able to find any definitive information either way, so I'm not questioning you. I'm just wondering where the source is, because I was looking for one and I couldn't find one. I mean, the ones that are actually running in the Octo server are... Oh, just off the top of your head. Okay, so I'm going to let it run for 10. It's not going to kill itself. Like I said, it self-regulates itself. 88 is not going to hurt it. Like I said, it self-regulates at that temp. Now, it would be interesting to see what like the memory temperatures and stuff are, but Aleo isn't hard on memory, so it really shouldn't be. I was going to say, I thought maybe it was going up a little bit. We were hitting upper 380s. Now it seems to be back down in the 370 to the 380 range. Yeah, somebody had said that. But I mean, they're bottomed out. There's like nowhere to tighten them to. You know, when you're doing a CPU cooler and that threads end. And that's the way it was with the leaf spring. The threads ended. I don't know. Might have to make it into a gaming card. And can always, do NVIDIA-SMI and just power limit it. And that's one of the things I probably should be doing right now is just power limiting it so it's heated up, but not heated up that much. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower it to 350. Come on, F10. All right, fine. Control C. There we go. No, the pads are already pre-squished. Why are you not doing anything? Oh, that's why. Okay. Somehow I got way down there. So we want to do NVIDIA-SMI-PL 350. Oh, that's right. Sudo su. Now, I don't think I can go back and do that. Now these are other... Oh, I hate when it does that. All right, so we'll go back to do that same command. There we go. Now it's limited to 350. Now NV top. So it brings it down. Obviously, it brings it down. It would make sense that it would. But we'll get it a little bit more under control. Go 2 more minutes, then I'll stop it. I mean, the other option is just to use thermal paste, which I'm getting tomorrow, and try that. But hopefully this will, you know, get better with time. It's supposed to, if it's installed correctly. But it is actually doing better. Like I said, this was at 315. Now, admittedly, I did have it in a different part of the rack, which was higher, so it may not have been getting as much airflow. But yeah. All right. Seems to have kind of settled out at 83 right now. 259, close enough. Let me stop it. I think you're supposed to cycle this like 5 times and then let it sit overnight and see what happens. If not, maybe it'll just be an AI card that only runs at 350 watts. Because honestly, typically, the most I see AI workloads use it for is 400. So even if I can get it so that it was workable at 400, it would still be good. Nope, still settling down. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious now. First run of PTM 7950 bad. Yeah, it's called pump out. That's what I'm trying to avoid, by the way. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go back to the comments. It's not getting hot enough to phase change at 88 Celsius. Maybe even double check the screws. Yeah, I did that. 100% fan. I mean, I've got most of my stuff running at 100% fan, especially the stuff that's in the Octa server. I thought about doing Repad, but Repad's not the, well, I thought Repad was the pads were the issue, the fact that it wasn't getting good enough core contact. But then they were the original pads, and I know those original, like, putty is very squishable. So that shouldn't be the issue. The die screws are soft, they damage easily. Well, like I said, they screwed all the way down until it stopped. Argon, that's exactly what I thought, except they were the original. It's the original putty. I was assuming that I was going to go in there and there was going to be 1.5 millimeter pads on there, but it wasn't. It was the original putty. So that was a surprise. Yeah, Diesel. Yeah, always pseudo-su. Yep. Yeah, would explain the core not getting proper contact with the heatsink. No, totally agree. Totally agree. That's what I expected. But it is the original, unless they just put too much putty on it, I suppose. But the putty that they use is extremely squishable. So when they install the original putty, what they do is they actually have like the base and the board. They put the board in, and then they have a clamp that comes down and exerts a certain amount of force, undisclosed, but that there's a certain amount of force that they push for, he didn't exactly say how long, but for a period of time, then they lift up so that those pads are pre-squished. So that it makes sure that the pads are squished hard enough. So assuming it went through the right installation process, we should still be fine. Let's see. You should throw it in a Hive rig and try a little more memory intensive algo to see if the memory temps are high or they're good. Yeah, not a bad idea. When you joined, you were already reassembling the card. I missed most of the stream. Yeah, I figured that. But no, Aragorn, you are right on target. That's exactly what I figured I would see on the card. And when it was the original putty, I was like, oh, that's not what I expected. In fact, other people were telling me that it was the original paste, and I'm like, no, it can't be. It's got to be new pads. And then I looked at another video, and I'm like, yeah, that's the original putty. Jackson, maybe adding a little paste to the 7950 isn't such a bad idea to fill in the gaps. If it doesn't matter, honestly, because it should still, you shouldn't have more than a 20 millimeter gap. They should all be making pretty much almost direct contact. The core and the heatsink should be smushed together. So putting extra heat paste, that's only a temporary solution. And that's what I thought too, Argon Strider. Mixing paste and pad seems like a bad idea. All right. So it's down to 3130. Just ran something really quick. It ran the bandwidth test. It does that every so often. Vast does that, by the way. All right. So it's been off almost 5 minutes. I want to see if I can get this to restart by doing this. So there's within the instance in Vast, there's like a play and stop button. I hit the play button, but I'm not sure that's going to work. I might have to restart it. It says current status exited. Start your instance. Trying to see if that works. I don't think that's going to work. I've never been able to get that to work, but I thought I'd give it a shot. Can always try rebooting the instance, but that's no different than restarting it, honestly. I hadn't played around with these controls before, so I'm kind of curious. It's not running. It says it's running, but it's not. It says exited. All right, reboot the instance. Let's see what happens. Current state, rebooting. Did something. I don't know if that was a bandwidth test or what. Nah, it still says exited. I have to restart it. I know you guys can't see this, but it's got like IP addresses and stuff on here, so I don't want to show this. Just making sure. No, it still says exited. So let me recreate the job. Job. Set job. Now it'll restart here in a few minutes. Usually, last time it took about 2 minutes. See if it takes about the same amount of time. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Maybe get the card hot and then try to tighten the board screws more to see if you can squish the putty a little more. The only board screws there are the leaf springs. There aren't any other screws that screw the board to like the housing or anything like that. That's the only thing. And again, it was already squished, so it's supposed to be pre-squished at the factory. Oh, Jackson Digital, I'll give it a try because now I must know. While you had the board apart, did you check F9R warping in the board or heatsink? I did not. I did not. OSI networking model, check the physical layer first. It's still creating. It'll pop up again if it already popped up once. because this is all still like nothing there. Oh, I see what you're saying. It popped up for a few seconds with those two spikes. Oh, okay. Interesting. The outer screws don't help hold down the putty to the memory. No. Those outer screws are just for, remember, I put a thing on top of the board. That's holding in the back plate. And then you have the decorative element that goes on top of it. All right, let's see where we go. See if we get any better attempts this time. Now I have it limited to 350. So we'll see if it gets up to, what was it running, about 83 before? Obviously, it's going to go up a lot slower now because it's running at 350 watts instead of 450. I'm going to look up. Anybody looked it up to see like how many power cycles? Well, a lot slower to ramp up because I had it running at 450 watts the last time. So that's why it's ramping up a lot slower. It's about the end point. So it's at 78. 79. Let me look up to see if I can figure out PTM 7950. How many heat cycles? Because, I mean, there's some of these people are saying, yeah, it takes like 3 days for it to set up. So we're at 81. Let's see. Was just here. Let me look. I'll search for what I was looking for. So it's at 81 now. Looks like it's leveled off. Was it 83 before, right? Let's see. Where was it? Let me see. Actually, this should be in the LTT store. There's an installation guide and LTT. Oh, pff. Here, let me see.
It helps make the material a little bit more workable. The first thing you'll need to do is clean both the core or heat spreader of your processor and your cooler. Then, after measuring the approximate dimensions, cut up your pad with a pair of scissors. You don't have to get this exactly right because PTM 7950 is non-conductive and shouldn't damage anything if it seeps over the edge. Next, peel one side of the pad, and we recommend sticking it to the processor rather than to your cooler.
Oh, interesting.
Evenly over the pad to help with the next step. Then, peel the other side with a pair of needle nose pliers or tweezers. Finally, install your cooler.
Oh, well, that's not helpful. Then what do? That was just about how to install it. So it's at 81. Oh, I just jumped up to 82 for a second. So it's been running. I think I started right around 306, 307. So I'll stop it at 315. But that seems to be a little bit better. Here, that's what I want. Yeah, let's keep it constant. Let's not change the experiment. We'll leave it at 350 watts and see. if it sets up. So 313. Pocket Change, how are you? I know somebody said you were here before. Probably Sunflower Mama said you were here before. So welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sunflower Mama and I sent you and Chump something that's sitting at the P.O. box. If you have not been there recently, it did get delivered today. Yeah, the outer screws don't hold down the putty to the memory at all. Just the leaf spring. So the thing is like the cold plate is it actually has the memory pads on it as well. So it's not like there's a separate, like on a lot of the other cards, the main plate is only for the GPU die. That's it. On this one, it's for the memory and the GPU die. So something to keep in mind. So it did go up to 82. Oh, it's sitting right next to you in the car right now. He went this morning. Oh, that's cool. I know we didn't have to do that, but Sunflower, I mean, you think I made that? Sunflower Mama's idea. But when we started talking about who we want to send things to, you know, wanted to send it to a few people. Let's see. All right. So it is 3:15. I want to see something. I am going to, F10 should, I don't know, Control C. I don't know why it's doing that. But this is what I want to do. I'm going to move that back up to 450. And I want to see what it limits it at. So you see how it's at 89, 88, but it's right at 400 now. And it's staying there. So it is doing better. Well, kind of 380 to 390 to 400. Hasn't really stabilized yet. All right, I think it's slightly better right now because it isn't going down to 370, and you can see here it's already pegged up there. So, so it is slightly better. So we're going to stop that again. Stop. Yep, I'll try a few more heat cycles. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Wife's like, forgot I was streaming. She's just doing stuff behind me. I won't even say what she said. Or could you guys hear what she said? Let's see. Diesel says, yes, that is different. Oh, you haven't opened it yet. Got it. Well, open it. Yeah, we're going to try a few more heat cycles. Yeah, exactly. The clock wasn't dropping. So that's definitely a plus. We're going to let it cool back off again for 5 minutes. And then let's see what happens on the next cycle. But yeah, I did not, Argon Strider, I did not check to see if the board was warped at all. But even if it was, that's the thing. Even if it was, well, I mean, I suppose that the heatsink was warped. That'd be different. But even if it was, the I was able to like bottom out each of the leaf spring screws. So that should be bringing the board and the die like super close together. I mean, it should be making them make contact. Now, admittedly, the leaf springs are outside of where the memory pads are, so that's why that can have an effect. But I mean, like I said, it's the putty, and it seemed squished. It seemed to be a little bit of a thick application, but it did seem squished. So, yeah, that's what kind of has me a little confused. But maybe it's just a matter of time. Just a matter, you know, this thing cycling through and such. Diesel. Take apart another 4090 FE and trade heatsinks. LOL. Just kidding. Don't do that. Oh, you couldn't make it out. Okay, good. Glad you said that, Pocket. Thank you. All right. We have... I could probably start setting it up now. It's been 4 minutes, but it'll take 2 minutes for it to start back up. So I am going to go back and start creating the job. Creating the gerb. Since it will take 2 minutes for it to start. You know, I had set this up, this stream, to... Oh, you know what? I didn't set it up. I was thinking I was going to stream 3 places. I'll probably try to do that tonight. Try to stream to Twitch and X. They fixed the link to X with SE Live. But I forgot. I don't think when I originally set this up and scheduled it, I only scheduled it for YouTube. Therefore, it didn't start the other 2. Yeah. Yep. That is what happened. All right. Where are we at with this? Probably in creating. Yep. In creating mode. There it goes. I have it at 450 right now. Curious where it goes to, like, immediately. Interesting. It stayed higher for longer. Now it's at 415. Yeah, see, it's cycled down much quicker. Like, it would already been below 400 at this point. Like, probably down at 380 at this point. Let's see. Because supposedly once you've done these heat cycles, you're supposed to let it sit for a long period of time and then rerun it. So I'm going to do this. I'll try to run it on the stream tonight, see what I get. But each time it seems to be, well, seems to be very similar to the last one. Slightly better than the last run, I think. But it also, I don't think, is settled all the way. It's still trying to figure out. It's like doing this and it'll eventually, you know, settle out at a particular power once it kind of figures it out. Yeah, it looks pretty similar right now. I'm going to take this one back down to 350. So Control C. Let's see now. That's pretty much right at 83, although I haven't given it much chance to gain anything yet. One thing I can tell you is I don't think I'm gonna be able to mine on this in the winter. Let's see if that starts coming down. Did come down to 82. And as I said, if I'd be able to keep this at 400, I'd be fine. Because, like I said, most AI jobs really don't go above 400. I don't know why, but they don't. It's at 82. Come on, keep coming down. Trying to remember where it settled out the last time when we were on 350 watts. Let's see. It just doesn't seem to be that much different. I'm going to do one more heat cycle after this, and then I'm going to let it sit until tonight's stream. All set. Yes, double stream, Max. Yay. Yeah, I plan on it. I haven't done it yet. Hey, this is fun for me. How much would I have earned? I don't work hourly. I'm on salary. So if I didn't use my vacation, I would lose it. So that's why I'm using my vacation. And trust me, I'm really glad I'm using my vacation. Definitely needed it. Yeah, so yes, all said, I plan on trying to do the double stream tonight. I forgot there was one extra step that I didn't do. Yeah, 83. We'll admit, this is not as good as I had hoped. It was interesting though, when I pulled open the, probably shouldn't be doing that to my face since I haven't washed my hands since I was picking at the, what do you call it? The, thermal pad. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but when I pulled it open, I mean, it looked like the initial pad was squeezed. It was just dry as a bone. I mean, easily could have been about 3 years old, right? When did 49ers come out? 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Whichever. It was a pretty decent amount of time ago. All right, so we're going to stop that. And let's do that. Stop. And then we'll let that sit for another 5 minutes where it comes all the way back down to like 27. In case you're wondering, you're like, oh, well, it seems to really slow down coming down. Yeah, it's because the fan slows down. So it's not cooling as much because it doesn't need to. But I will start to get the next one ready. So I can just hit set job when the time comes. Yeah, I gotta stop touching my face. I'll try to get this one to start about 3:30 or so. By the way, if I did miss any super chats or tips or subscribers, I apologize. I've been focused on this, but if you did do that, thank you. Appreciate it. What I do need to do is I need to get this back down here so I can read the YouTube chat instead of the chat within that window. There we go. Much better. Actually, one of the things I'm happy about, so I've told you that the Octo servers had some issues in the past. And it basically, I found a bug within Vast, and they've got a cron job that they said was supposed to fix it. I don't know if that cron job fell off or what, but starting on Saturday, I wasn't getting rentals like I normally was, and I couldn't run any background jobs on it. It was doing the same thing it was doing before. I go to put put a cron job on, or put a background job on there, and I'd have all 6 instances there just sitting there saying outbid. And I'm like, there's nothing there. There can't be outbid. And so I basically trash one of the 6 instances, and then it starts mining with the background job. And then it does that for about a minute, and then says outbid again. And you can keep doing that as, kicking off one of the instances, and it'll restart. Same thing was happening before. Well, last night, obviously they were probably in Europe. Somebody looked at it and must have either run the cron job or whatever, but they fixed it. I was able to start running background jobs like normal, and I started picking up AI jobs again. So, all right, it's 3:30. We're at 28 degrees C, so we are cycled all the way down. And so we're going to set that job again. So it's going to be another 2 minutes before it starts. All right. And I have it at 350 watts now. So we'll start this one at 350 watts, see what happens. Thermal paste is good for the skin. Got it. Good to know. So also, if Aleo takes only 6.4 gigabytes, the other 19 gigabytes are not in use and should stay cold. No need to cool them. Yes. I mean, yeah, in general. I mean, it's using some of the memory, but it's not a memory intensive algorithm. So it should not be heat soaking the, I hadn't actually thought about that. I should not be heat soaking the cold plate. Switch here. Still shows inactive. Interesting. Oh, it still says loading. Okay. Still taking a bit of time. It usually says creating by now, but it's taking a bit more time right now. Wow, this is probably one of my longest streams ever. 2.5 hours. Okay, now it finally says creating. So it should be another 30 or 45 seconds would be my guess. And did give it a chance to get down to 27C, which is pretty much your idle baseline. So the other thing, somebody had said, put a fan on it. If I touch the GPU when the core is that high, the GPU is not hot. So it tells you that there's no transfer. That's the issue. So let's see where we're at this point. Come on. Let's get started. Everybody say hi to Sunflower Mama. So there we go. It started. Let's see where we go to. Yeah, at 350, it just takes a lot longer for it to heat soak. Because obviously it's not producing as much power. Makes sense. But yeah, I wish NV Top actually had the memory temps. That would be cool. Definitely be cool. Or should I say hot? whoever's like actually stuck this out with me, I appreciate it. I don't know how I'm at 32 current viewers, but I had 45 at one point. So not bad. Better than I thought I'd do on a Monday in the middle of a work day. All right, so we're at 79. We will run this for like 4 or 5 more minutes. And I'll actually, after I stop the stream, I'm going to do a little bit of research. Oh, I got to change this darn ring on my phone. Still have that new phone, but I have not changed the ringer on it. And it is a woman going, ring, ring. Anyway, it's annoying. It's definitely annoying. All right. We're at 81. Bad. See if it goes back up to 83. Oh, man. Jumped to 82. So it appears to be about the same. All right, 3 more minutes. I'll let it run, and then we will call it a day. Any more questions? I'm going to call this a stream in just a few more minutes once I finish this cycle. Let's see. All right, a whole bunch of people. Let's see. All set. You double stream, Max? Yes, I'm double streaming. I'm going to stream again tonight. I got other things to talk about tonight. This was just about the card. I was actually just going to do a video on it, and I'm like, nah. If it crashes and burns, everybody will love to see it. So, thankfully, it still works. Don't know if I solved the problem. At least not yet. But it works. So, and here's the way I look at it. The other 2 cards that I got for him, I got them for a great price. Okay. So much so that if 1 out of the 3 didn't work at all, I would have been basically like paying retail on the other 2, because I was buying 3, but if only 2 worked. So this one works. It just, I have to put some work into it. Hey, but it's content, right? It's content. So, and maybe there'll be more content to try to figure out what's wrong with it. Or maybe I'll send it off to Northwest Repair to see if he can figure out what's wrong with it. If I can't get the temps to come down. So if this doesn't work, next thing I'll do is I'll reopen it. This time I will repaste it. I will make sure that I press down hard to squeeze the pads before I actually paste it. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So any other comments? Yeah, they could definitely easily add mem temp right before the fan percent. They could add it anywhere. I mean, take your pick. But yeah, I would definitely put it right next to the other temp. That would make the most sense. I would do a full repad and use paste if this doesn't work. I'm not going to do a full repad because the pad's not the problem. It's the pad is in good shape. So that should not be the problem. Like I said, getting a good compression on it possibly. I mean, not going to replace the other pads. I might replace the memory pads with 1mm, and because I'm thinking that could still be the issue. But I don't know. I mean, it did look like the other pad. I mean, I suppose it could have just leaked out because it wasn't tight enough contact. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So we're at 82. We were at 83 the last time. All right. You know what? Actually, before I do this, I am going to jack it up to 450 and see where we end up as far as power. So Control C. I hate it when I do that. Yeah, that's what I did. That was dumb. All right. There we go. Oh yeah, 450. That's what I wanted. Enter. All right, now NV top. Let's see where we're at. Well, that didn't take long to stabilize. 89 at right around 390. It's definitely better. And I was also thinking, so the way this is in the rig, it's in vertically. So if anything's just going to kind of turn into a liquid and have the possibility of running out, it should run towards the bottom of the card. But in this particular case, that's not what happened. If I remember correctly, I guess I have to go back and look at my stream, but I think most of the like extra that was outside the actual die was actually towards the top of the card, which leads me to believe that it's pushing it that way. 384, 383. Like I said, this is still way better than what I originally had when I was doing this, when it was at like 315. You can see the GPU clock is like just going between 2430 and 2415. So this is not varying much. It is set. I guess it did go down to 2400 for a second. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. We are going to shut this sucker down. And check the stream one more time. Even just as a test, that putty on the memory looks like you could reuse it if you really wanted to. Just a full repad and paste would give more info as to there being a more serious problem. True. Hugh Franklin, welcome. Tony at Northwest Repaired has shorted out 3090 for me. There was about a 30-day waiting list. I guess he stays pretty busy. I bet he does. He does good work. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Did he make a video on it, Hugh? Or did he just fix it? Obviously, he makes videos about a lot of different cards. But yeah, I'd be really curious. I just feel like this is fixable. So we'll see. Hopefully this is just a matter of like seasoning the pad. I hope that that's it. But we'll see. Oh, Hugh Franklin said, no, he just fixed it. Got it. I don't know. Fixing shorts. I mean, I guess he probably tries to use like the most interesting cases as his videos. That would make sense. But I do find his videos where he's like troubleshooting and figuring things out, I find it like therapeutic. I love to see like his problem solving. Admittedly, it's probably more like a flow chart at this point because he's done it for so long. But I don't know, I just find very interesting to see, okay, go from here, go to point A to point B to point C, not always the same. So when you have this, you go here, and how he follows the circuit diagrams. Okay, yeah, this chip's not here, so it should be showing up here, but it's not. I might be missing a chip here. It's just interesting to see how he like goes through all that. So, yes, to be continued. So on that note, thank you for that transition there, Diesel. Very much appreciate it. I will see you guys again tonight in about a little over 4 hours. I'll be on at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can do the translations from there. And so I will see you on later tonight. It will be just as a preview. There will be a little bit more detailed about what I talked about last week about the tax talk. I have some sources and things like that. And I will simplify it as to why you need to do something. That's really what it comes down to. Everybody, well, shouldn't say everybody. Most people need to do something. A couple of things would be very, very helpful, but we'll go through that tonight. And I can't remember. There's something else I was going to talk about, but can't remember, but I'll remember. Yeah. Tune in later and find out. Sorry. That was what Sunflower Mama just said. So alrighty, guys, thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Have a good afternoon, everybody. And we will see you on tonight. The General is out. See you later.